welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Somebody go next.
Emilio, you're next.
I guess.
I'm always last. Come on.
Oh,
any listeners?
We discussed this earlier. I thought you were going second. I guess you weren't in that conversation, though.
Wow.
Yep.
Best intro ever, guys. Way to close it out. Way to close out 2020. Let's try that again. Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast.
Intro titties, everybody. Bye.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
Macho.
Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. All right. We're going me, Minnie, Nick, Emilio. All right. I'm Bobby.
I'm Minnie.
I'm Nick.
And I'm completely out of motivation. After that.
Oh my God.
Debacle.
Dude, if this is somebody's first episode, this is such a bad look.
We've been doing this for 6 years, folks. Mm-hmm. 6 years.
Pretty terrible. So, yeah, we've got some people joining us here. Chi is not on today, unfortunately, but we do have Nick and Minnie joining us. And Minnie's going to tell us all about Cyberpunk. So, I mean, I've continued to play a little bit, even streamed a little bit this last week. Still having like an all right time. Really starting to run into the bugs, though. Like the weird ones, you know, like I get clipped through the floor. I go flying through the earth. Or for some reason, my character's pants just disappear. Not wearing any pants, yet my body thinks it's wearing pants, so it smooths me out like a Ken doll. So it's really weird. But the funniest part about it is when you get on a motorcycle, you just see two little butt cheeks just riding up there, just flapping in the wind.
There's a lot of, there's a million memes, right? Mm-hmm. One of my favorite ones was on Reddit where it's like, you know, a lot of people talk shit about this game, but the shading is spectacular. So this guy, like, he's sticking his gun into a shadow back and forth, and I was like, it doesn't, like, it's just a shadow. It doesn't really. And then he looks up, and there's just a car just floating in the sky, and it's not. It was a delayed reaction. I was like, oh shit, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of good memes out there, but I'm still like on the fence about the game. But Minnie, you have gone all the way with this game.
Yeah, I've beat the game. I've completed pretty much every quest I'm able to. There are a couple that are bugged and I can't get through. So that's a big downside of it right now. But the story, I think, is amazing. I love the story. Like, even at the end of Act 1, I was like, holy shit, I'm hooked on this. And then I just played this game nonstop for like the next week and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I reached the point where Keanu Reeves' character is introduced. I'm like, oh, well, because that's when the title screen comes up. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like everything I've been playing has been a prologue up until this point. And that was like, because I just did all the side quests. So I was like 5, 6, 7 hours in until I got to that point, and the story really started to take off.
Minnie, how long did it take you to what's the run time like? If you were to pull out the bugs, obviously you probably could add 2 hours of bugs that you were trying to get around, right?
Easily, probably more. Runtime, I think 55 hours approximately.
Dude, so it is like a Witcher-sized game, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Witcher 3, I didn't play that much, but I thought that game was bigger. Like,
yeah, you could go 80 hours.
More than that.
If you play like straight through just the main story, I think you can do it in like 35, 40 hours. But,
yeah, that's definitely smaller for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, someone said 20
to 15, probably. Oh yeah, 20 maybe.
There's probably 150 hours total if you know in Witcher 3.
Oh yeah, definitely not. They don't have that much in there yet.
Minnie, did you choose? What did you choose for your origin story?
My first run was Corpo. I started my second one as a street kid, and I've just passed the prologue for that.
Okay, so just a heads up: if you start as a nomad, you are seen as the scum of the earth.
Oh yeah,
people talk shit on you. They like spit on you. Like, it's bad.
Shit, I can see that. Like, going through the story, I can understand why.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were talking in Discord about your weapons and the insane damage that they're doing. Now you are upgrading iconic weapons, right?
Yes.
Which are these?
Crafting in this game is so insanely overpowered. I was talking to, I can't remember who, but he was saying like the best sniper rifle he was able to find on a drop was about 300 some odd damage. I've upgraded mine now to 1,300 damage.
Holy.
Like I can one-shot everything but a boss.
Wow.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm glad I went with the crafting. I kind of went with like really focused on the crafting just because it seemed like an easy way to get XP and get like perk points to spend.
That is very true. Yes.
But I have not upgraded. So the iconic weapons, we should explain, they're weapons that you can get throughout the game, and you're going to outgrow them eventually. So they give you the opportunity to upgrade these weapons, so you can keep using the same cool looking weapon that does something kind of cool throughout the entire game, and it scales in power along with you.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually accidentally sold all my iconic weapons so far. So I don't know.
Did you not know about that they level up with you?
Well, I didn't know you couldn't get them back. I thought I could always just like pick them up somewhere. But this game is very unforgiving about stuff like that. I've even heard there was, I think, an article on some site talking about how if you choose a perk where you can throw weapons, you don't get to pick those weapons up. So they like threw a really expensive rare weapon at an enemy, and then it was just like unretrievable after that. And they just lost it. You know, like usually you get like throwing knives or like some sort of disposable thing, or you can retrieve them.
Almost every game you can retrieve them.
Yeah. But
there's a gun in this game that you can get pretty much like at any point after the prologue that shoots money. So every time you fire it, you're losing money.
Shoots money, dang.
Which is ridiculous because money in this game is so valuable. It's like you can never have enough, I feel.
So the economy it's a strong economy in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely for sure. Like
that's hard to do.
Just
man.
to upgrade your weapons, you need to buy like items, and those items to upgrade crafting materials are really expensive. Like you can definitely find them and create them, but it takes a long time, and the materials to craft the items to craft weapons is expensive.
Yeah, and there's things in the talent tree of crafting that allow you to, or give you a higher chance of looting some of those materials too. But you said there was something with hacking, a perk that you got that is bugged right now. Did they ever patch that out?
I don't think it. Oh yes, I'm sorry. That was Well, there was one. It's called, what is that called? The legendary perk Cripple Movement, and if you have that equipped, it kills your frame rate. Like I was getting like 5 frames a second, and it also makes some enemies invincible. Like you'll take their life bar down to 0, but they'll just never fall over. So I had to actually go to like the official forums and post like, hey, what the fuck, anybody found a fix for this? And they said, yeah, just unequip this legendary quick hack Cripple Movement. And that's what I did. And so if anybody has that, just throw it away.
It's because you shouldn't kill cripples, dude. That's why they're invincible. Morally, morally, like your character can't pull the trigger, bro.
Wow. So that's not a perk. That's actually a quick hack, which is something you equip in your deck or your cyber deck or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an ability.
Yeah. I went melee, so I'm wondering how that's going to pan out. So far, so good. Like I'll try to stealth it a little bit, and then like somebody will see me, and then I'll just run in and hack everybody to death. That's still kind of been my experience with the game.
Hacking with the sword, not hacking with your computer.
Yeah, with a sword. I mean, I try to do the hacking. Like I try real hard to be like super cool. Like, oh, make a distraction over here. Like hack that light so it blows up and everyone looks. And I come over and I choke hold this guy, and then something always goes wrong, and I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time. Basically, I'm like a serial killer. I'm like Jason Voorhees with asthma. Like I run in, I hack everybody to death. I get shot a bunch of times. I breathe on my inhaler, and then I come back for the sequel. Like it's just, I don't know, man. Like, have you noticed any difference in your game? Obviously, you're going a different route, but do the missions get harder? Are there things that require you to do different things? Or missions that require you to do different things?
Not until like the very last part of the game where you actually have like things that you have to use. But before that, like, no, it's just whatever you want to do. There is no other like side quest that requires you to do anything. I mean, you'll get bonuses. Some quests they want you to be stealthy, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've noticed like I'll get bonus points in the stealth area if I manage to do part of it stealthily. So I start leveling that up, and I become better at that, I suppose. But there was one mission that I did where, oh God, I don't know. Should we spoil this? I feel this is a bit of a spoiler. I don't know if it's safe to spoil things on this game or if it even really matters at this point. Does anybody care?
I think with a game like this, where there's so many variances in storylines and like things like that. I don't think there's spoilers unless you're like spoiling
Yeah. Well, this
one of the
happens
main
to everybody.
endings.
This is not a different part of the game. But I will say, I think they spoiled this in one of their early trailers for the game. So a week or two ago, I talked about the character Jackie, who I didn't really like at the time. He just kind of sounded like a
Ooh.
male Sofia Vergara to me. Just like every time he talked, it was like, Dios mío.
At the time, does that mean that
Damn, Bobby.
you warmed up?
Okay, here's what's weird. He dies, and now I kind of
Dude.
like it. Yeah, I know. Well, I know, but they
Jackie
spoil it. They
fucking
spoil it. This is like
dies.
one of the trailers they had like a year ago is the mission where he dies and you get in the car and he's like all shot and bloodied. So you know he's gonna die. And of course, dude, you can read the writing on the wall. It's so
Yeah.
obvious he's gonna die. He's like
It really is.
yeah, he's a fatalistic character for sure.
Yeah,
like this
he's,
guy's
like,
got
too optimistic about the future.
He's
and
a
stuff
fucking
like that.
red shirt, dude. He's like a cop on his last day before retirement. It's like, you know, this guy's going to die. It is critical to the story. So he dies, and there's a mission where you have to go visit his mother, and they're having a funeral for him, and they build an ofrenda, and you have to pick an item out for it, and it's done really well. And I'm like, wow, this is okay. I'm coming around on this guy now.
Now that he's dead.
Yeah, I like him better dead. I don't know.
Without his snarky Mexican remarks, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. But that mission was done really well, and it wasn't like a run-in, shooty, bang, bang mission. You
Right.
know, it was like real. They have missions like that in The
Sentimental.
Witcher, don't they? Where like you don't. It's really you just talking to people and like maybe navigating a conversation or
Yeah.
something.
Finding out a story. There's
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Yeah, but I thought
I
that was
missed
really
that
done
mission
well.
my first playthrough. I guess I waited too long to call Jackie's mother,
Mhm.
and by that time she was like, "Oh, we just had the funeral, so here's his motorcycle." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But on my
Really
Yeah, I
second
think
good.
you
playthrough, I
have
got it.
I think you have a week of in-game time to actually do it.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Okay.
mandatory mission. It was like a side mission. So yeah, I don't know.
I didn't call Jackie's mom either because I fucked her. I'm hearing some people laughing in the background, or what is it? What is that?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe Sniper was playing a video.
Okay. Sorry, we can't entertain you enough, Sniper.
So, Minnie, it sounds like you are really enjoying this game.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. I feel like I cheesed the entire game because I found so there's the quick hack ping, which basically lights everybody up in the game like on your heads up display so you can see their silhouette. And then that gun that you show up on the stream, the sniper rifle, that is basically an anti-material rifle. It goes through anything. Like,
Mhm.
doesn't matter how many layers of brick or steel or whatever, it goes through absolutely everything.
Jeez.
It doesn't stop.
You did
So-
cheat the game. You cheesed it. But I mean,
Yeah, I
those are
definitely
tools.
choose a lot of it.
It's not like
but-
you hacked the game. That was stuff that was in there.
Yeah, that was stuff that was in the game. So it would allow me to like ping anybody, like if they were in a stronghold or a building, I would just like ping somebody like a guard on the outside, and it would light up everybody in the inside the building, and then I would just start firing rounds downrange, and they would just die. So then I'd just go in and pick up whatever item or save whatever person was in there. Just extremely easy.
There was just no story for you because all the NPCs are dead by the time you get there.
Yeah,
feel-
yeah, for a lot of the side quests, that's what it was. I mean, the main quest, you really can't do that as easily, but yeah, for all side quests, yeah, just use that tactic.
One thing that I feel like is like one main complaint I've seen online is like, oh, the AI is bad. The AI is bad. The AI is fine if you play it like a normal shooter, but if you play it the mini way where you're like shooting people with an anti-material rifle through like 4 feet of concrete, the AI is like, is someone there? So I think there's so much more that can be done.
Dude, if that happened to me, I'd be like, hey, is somebody there? If Bobby just died right now, I'd be like,
Yeah,
hey.
that their heads
Yeah, but
disintegrate.
it wouldn't be Bobby just dying. His head and shoulder would be gone from like a 50 caliber bullet going through your neighbor's house cat 6 drywall and like a fucking beam.
Yeah. I guess I would jump to the ground.
So with this playthrough, I've limited myself to pistols, shotguns, and swords. So I'm like trying to get in there now and actually like experience the combat. But yeah, the AI, it's fucking stupid.
Did you go
AI
harder
is
in the
dumb as
difficulty?
shit. No, actually, well, the first one I played through the hardest difficulty.
Oh, okay.
And this one I actually bumped it down a little because now it's actually going to be like challenging. I have to think about my strategy.
Right.
But like I can't tell you how many times I've seen like somebody like run and then trip over their ally and then they're just prone on the ground for 3 seconds, and it's like, okay, well this is easy right here. But yeah, it's the AI, there's a lot of problems, a lot of bugs in this game. Some of the quests aren't too what's the word I'm looking for? Straightforward. Like sometimes the mini map markers aren't correct. They'll lead you to the wrong
Ooh,
spot. You gotta like think
that's
think around the
frustrating.
box, outside the box.
I like around the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I've ran into a quest or two like that where I've been kind of led astray or something didn't quite line up.
So, Minnie, you would say that like it's not worth a lawsuit, right? Because some of the investors are trying to sue
well,
CD Projekt
on,
Red.
on a PC standpoint, the game is a little buggy, but it's fine. But of course, the consoles are getting fucked. So
Right.
I can't speak for that. But
Yeah.
on PC standpoint, it's great. It's a good game. Not
Have you
optimized very
seen
well. There are problems, but no, it's fine.
Emilio? Have you seen like the Picasso paintings that are the PS4 and like the Xbox
Yeah.
like
I saw that thing
gameplay?
that you linked, dude, that with the Jurassic Park sound effect. Was that you?
No, that wasn't me,
Uh,
but it gets real bad. Like, and it's because they're the last gen consoles, right? But it'll take legit 30 seconds to like 120 or 2 minutes, like seconds to process textures for just an ambient or main NPC. So you're looking at like a lady and you're seeing like the 1992 Laura Croft boob set where it's just a triangle and like an abstract blurred like outfit, but that's all you're seeing, and then 2 minutes later it finally loads. I honestly don't think they should have released it for PS4 and the previous Xbox series because I don't fucking know what it is. They should have just made it for PS5, the newest Xboxes, and the PC.
it was a
Yeah.
bit ambitious. Maybe they should have let the game come out for a while and then later, because like The Witcher 3 is on the fucking Switch now, but that's only because the game's been out so long that they've mastered that thing. They know where to cut corners. So
But have you played it on the Switch? Have you
no,
played Doom on the Switch?
no,
It's like playing a potato, dude. It's bad.
it doesn't play
It's
well.
not. It does. It's like, as weird as that sounds, it's like playing a mobile version of one of the games.
Oh, that's
And
rough.
and it's not to downplay the games because obviously like Doom and The Witcher are great, but you really lose textures. You lose pixel animations and particle effects. You lose ray tracing. You lose a lot of stuff, and it's just really just a general Twitch shooter compared to, and I'm talking about Doom at this point, compared to like what you get on the PC where you see like, the demon split into 1,000 pieces and you chainsaw them and all the like all the ammo spreads everywhere. Compare that to the Switch version where you use the chainsaw and the ammo just appears on the ground.
I
So
mean,
there's a big difference.
obviously you're going to give up a lot, but if they could get it to run at some capacity, all I'm saying is they would have had a better chance porting it over to the last gen consoles 3 years from now.
Yeah, they're saying that though they're going to get patches in like a big package in January and February. So it sounds like they're not going to be fixed until February.
Unfortunately, I have to wait until January because I'm stuck in an area where once I finish a quest where I'm saving a monk, my game crashes every time.
Huh.
And I want to finish the quest, but as soon as I finish the last text option and the world loads, boom, game crashes every time.
Yeah, I know which quest you're talking about. It ran fine for me, but that
Yeah,
sucks, man.
Why are you
I'm
playing
running.
it
I'm
on your
running.
PS1, dude? That's the question.
I got the PS1 controller without analog sticks. That's what I'm running.
My God.
Damn.
All right, Minnie, we're like an hour in already. So thanks for the call.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right.
Later, bro.
Catch you
Have a good
later,
one,
Minnie.
Minnie.
All right. Well, glad to hear somebody is enjoying Cyberpunk. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just, it's like, yeah.
Not what it was supposed to be.
I mean, I don't know.
Not what it
because-
could have been.
Well, I think about it. I'm like, well, what was I even expecting? It was one of those things where the hype is so big. It's just like, I guess it's like meeting a celebrity, dude. It's like you meet them and it's like, well, they're just a person.
Yeah.
It's like you have this fictionalized version of them in your head, and I don't know.
There has
But
been games. There has been games where like I was like, oh, this is what I was waiting for. Like Half-Life 2 didn't disappoint at all.
That was like 22, 23 years
Still,
ago.
I mean, I'm saying it's possible. Spore didn't.
But how much were you looking forward to Half-Life 2? I don't really remember I don't know, because I was really into Half-Life 1, so when Half-Life 2 came out, but
it was huge, dude.
yeah, but really, what did you have to do back then to impress us? The swing set, dude. We all saw the swing set with the physics and like mind blown.
Yeah.
Didn't take much. The gravity gun.
But then I have a counter example to that. Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx came out, amazing game, hardly any bugs, and it came out of nowhere compared to like Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's I feel like this comes back to the last time I was on the podcast, where if you wait to announce something or just announce something and then just do it immediately, you get better results because you're just not building up all this crazy hype. Cyberpunk should have stayed in incubator for like another 6 months, like hands down.
I
Whether
rented about this last week, dude. Apparently, they have investors. Like they're not on the American Stock Exchange, but I guess they have their own thing over there in Poland. So
yeah, I mean, it's a business, and that's driving a lot of the decisions that they make. It's real easy for us as the consumer of the product to say, well, they should have done this or that, but it's very different when you have people who are getting paid, or who want to get paid. And they're doing fine, man. There was an article on I don't know, PC Gamer, I think, that said they sold 13 million copies.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're doing fine financially, but. All right, that's enough Cyberpunk. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about this. So Nick very graciously gifted me GTFO, which is a game that has been talked about a lot on this podcast. It's a game that is kind of up my alley, 4-player co-op, and you need to really work together to accomplish a goal. And I've heard that it is very hard, and I got a chance to dive into it a little bit this week. And yes, and in fact, it is very difficult. What I was worried about, though, was that it wasn't going to be like a Deep Rock Galactic type game where where they have specific classes. Now, it's not really like that. Like, you can choose different gear. So someone can have like a slowing spray. Somebody can have a turret. Somebody can have this little radar that shows where the enemies are. So you can choose different kits and then just kind of help each other out with that. But other than that, it is kind of like you all just go in together. Now, I will say you are at a big disadvantage if you go in with less than a group of 4, because the enemies don't scale at all.
Oh, they don't?
No, they don't.
Oh, shit.
Like, nothing scales at all. So if you go in with 3 people, like, it's you're already at a big disadvantage.
Dude,
that happened to me. That happened to me in Diddy last night. We were like, okay, we're gonna treat this like a Rainbow Six Siege or like a Rainbow Six, where you everybody gets in position, you whack the enemy at once, and then you don't get alerted. And then he bashed someone's brains in, and then the horde came, and we just got killed in like less than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not unfair. It's not an unfair game, but it definitely has a strict rule set, and it doesn't really tell you what it is at first, and you kind of have to figure it out or have people walk you through it. Now, when I played this game, it wasn't with anyone that I knew, and hopefully that'll change next week. I still have one more week off, and I'm sure we'll play with people in the community. But I joined with complete strangers, and the community is good. Like, this is one of those games that kind of separates the wheat from the chaff. There's no like little kids or people who are goofing around. Like, the people who are playing and queuing up in most random games are people who are taking this seriously and want to succeed. They're using their mics, they're communicating, and they're helpful. So I kind of got walked through a mission or two, which helped me learn quite a bit about the game. Like, I didn't even know you could charge your melee attack. I didn't know that. I thought the enemies use this cone vision. They don't. They're completely based off sound, and they can sense you when they do like the specific move. So there's like all these things you need to figure out, and you need to go very slowly and very carefully through the mission. because you can die in a heartbeat. Like you can die in like 5 melee hits, and you've got to. These missions are pretty long.
Yeah.
So I really like that part about it. Like it doesn't really have the whole class thing, you help me, I help you kind of thing that I usually like, but it definitely requires coordination. What will happen? This is like, well, in my limited experience, this is like what happens when you walk into a room. Basically, you go into a room, you find out where the enemies are at, you turn your flashlights on so you don't alarm them. Everyone gets their melee out. You slowly sneak up on them, and you kind of pick them off one by one, starting with the ones on the outside. If there are ones that are close to each other, then 2 people need to go there and hit them at the exact same time so they don't alert the rest. But then they have other enemies that will, like they have tentacles that reach out of their head. So if you get close to them, they just alert everybody. There's all sorts of things that change the way you need to deal with them.
Does alert mean you're dead, or you could survive these waves?
You can survive the waves.
It's possible. Like you pretty much got to pull your guns out, but it's like, I don't know. If you keep doing that, like you can't go in guns blazing. Like you're going to take so much damage. Again, like maybe 5 melee hits and you're dead or around there. So,
there was maybe 5 minutes in, there's always that blast door you have to open and the alarm goes off, right?
Yeah.
There's no way around that. That's just...
That's not true. Let me interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. Me and Diddy opened a blast door. No alert at all. We just walked through.
Well,
no wave, nothing.
Maybe it was specific to that mission. So yeah, there are these points in the map where you open a blast door and it tells you like this will set off an alarm. But what you do at that point, everyone sets up their turrets, and the people I was playing with were very smart. They were just like putting a turret in the exact right spot, closing the door, laying down the sticky goo, and it was super easy to defend. Almost too easy. Like they just knew exactly what they were doing. I would not be able to repeat that. But yeah, there are parts where you need to go loud, and that just happens.
I'm glad that me and Diddy were able to get through that blast door event just with the 2 of us. I mean, we tried like 7 or 8 times, and we finally got it done. So if we can do it and it doesn't scale with 2 people, then yeah, 4 people that know what they're doing, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure ammo becomes an issue too.
Oh yeah, ammo becomes an issue. Health is always a huge issue.
So one question for you guys. When you guys did your missions, was there fog?
I don't know. So there were only 6 missions that I could play. I guess I have to beat them to unlock the others. And I was only able to complete 1. And we actually went through it pretty quick. We did another one and we did really well, but things just, I fucked up. It was actually my fault. Me and this other guy were supposed to clear the top, and like I didn't do it right. Like I still don't quite understand how you aggro the characters in this. Like I don't quite have it down.
So one thing that I've learned is that there's some enemies that react to flashlight, and there's some enemies that react to sound. And so you kind of have to go on like their most outer ring of detection and be like, okay, wait, does this one react to sound? Does this one react to flashlight? But
well, they have the basic guys, the basic guys that are scattered around. They have a name for them. I don't know what they're called, but those ones I thought reacted to both flashlights and sound, but not.
Yeah, the little like shitters that climb on the wall and stuff. Yeah, those guys react to everything.
Yeah. But then there are bigger enemies that you have to find other ways to deal with.
I wonder how much this has advanced in the last 6 months since I played with Diddy. There was also like I think. Completely understand that. You can, start using a computer, and the computer will tell you what items are in the general vicinity, right?
Yeah, there's a terminal you can use, and it's all command line. So it has a help menu, but it's very old school. Like you have to actually type in commands. Like it's
like where?
Yeah, like it's a DOS.
Yeah.
Operating system. Yeah,
when I was playing.
Oh, go ahead.
When I was playing with Diddy, and I was like, oh, look, we were like, this is my first time playing. So I pressed tab, to open the map and everything. I'm like, oh, what's this blue thing? And I opened up the console, and I was like, Diddy, do you know coding? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on in this shit, dude.
We were able to,
and he was like,
we figured it out somehow. He figured it out last time.
Well, there's a help menu that'll tell you all the commands and everything you need to type in, but yeah, and then they have like a weird little hacking thing, like a little mini game you play when you're trying to open certain doors. It's a good game. I don't know how much it's progressed since the last time you played, but we should definitely hop in again because this is something that is way better with friends and communication. In fact, when I was playing with these guys, at a certain point, they're just like, why don't you just hop on our Discord? It'll be way easier, because the type of communication you need in this just needs to be a lot more instant than just press to talk, you know?
And there was no,
If-
if I remember right, there's no difficulty setting. You
I
just,
didn't see any, no.
yeah, it's just, it
It's
is
just
what
all
it is.
hard mode.
It's all hard mode.
Yeah. I don't know how they could scale. Like maybe have the enemies do less damage or something. I'm sure there's a way they could do it, but
These guys seem like hardcore devs. I think they're just gonna leave it like that for some reason. I get that sense from this game. I'm gonna go refill my drink.
all right.
I think if you guys set a date, for me, Emilio, and Diddy, we can. Oh, you know what? Let me rephrase the sentence. Bobby, because you have this most stringent time strain. If you can set a date for, just for us to play, I would greatly appreciate that. But
Yeah, I'll put
me and
something
Diddy
in
and
for
Emilio got kids.
yeah, I'll put something in the looking for group channel in Discord. That's probably the best way to do it, and tag some people on it that I know have the game. Because yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
play more of this. It's all right playing with randos. Like I said, the community is actually pretty solid. The hard part is getting a full team of 4. You could be waiting around for a while to fill that last slot sometimes.
Funny enough, you know how I got your free key?
Oh
Like
no,
you-
how's that?
So I don't like to promote third party sellers of games and stuff, but I was buying stuff on Kingwin, and it's like redeem your points, and I redeemed my points for a free game, and it gave me a copy of GTFO.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never used Kingwin before. I used G2A a lot in the past, but yeah.
I will say I've gotten a couple of emails in Mandarin from G2A, so it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I've talked about them so much before. I've had problems with them before. They've always solved them eventually, but yeah.
I remember when they came onto Reddit and just kind of tried to defend themselves, and it was interesting because, like, why would you do that? I guess just for try to be transparent, but
yeah, well, it
their
didn't go
argument-
well.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Didn't go well because they were clearly in the wrong. That was about that whole situation about them basically selling stolen keys from was it Devolver? It was some specific company.
Yeah,
That
it was one company. I feel like it was somebody with one game, a very small developer.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
But yeah, more to come on that. I don't know if that'd be a good game to stream.
So
Might be.
I'm glad that
I don't think so.
I'm glad that JD's here because I think he had originally played Monster Train because I said that it was pretty good. I didn't care for the aesthetic, and I just left it at that. And then he went. I don't know how many hours. He must have 50 hours plus on it, and
Wow.
I believe it's on the Switch. So it's overwhelmingly positive with like 10.5 thousand reviews, 10 out of 10. And last night he's like, hey, there's multiplayer now. Do you want to play? I was like, dude, I've played it for literally 10 minutes 4 months ago. You're just going to trounce me. So he's like, well, I just want to see how it works. So we got it to play. And it's really a brilliant way of putting multiplayer in a game like this. So this game is like a Slay the Spire, but better. It adds way more depth than Slay the Spire. On Slay the Spire, you have your character on the one side, and you have up to 3 characters on the right side. On this, in this game, you summon creatures, so you can have up to 3 characters on one side versus their 3, and then there's 3 floors of that, and so there's a lot more depth. And what the monsters are trying to do is get through your defenses to go upstairs to get to the 4th floor where your ember is, which is basically like Magic the Gathering, your soul or whatever, your actual health, and they try to kill that. And all of this is happening on a train, and this train is trying to get out of hell, and you're going through the rings of hell, every level is a different ring of hell. And once I started getting into it, and now I actually appreciate the aesthetic. What was wrong with my first glance at it is because a lot of it seems super over the top, like just too much. Just like huge numbers and crazy amount. Like you start off with a guy that's like 5'8", 5 damage, 8 health, and then all of a sudden you're going up against guys with 900 health, and you're like, "What? How the fuck is my 5'8" guy gonna fight this 900 health guy?" But if with a lot of strategy and getting rid of cards, probably remember. I think it was Slay the Spartan. No, you never played that. What is the game that's like this that you've played?
Grifflins?
Maybe. Well, remember you were talking about getting rid of cards. You're like, I didn't realize that I was supposed to get rid of cards.
Oh yeah, that was Grifflins.
Yeah, and you have to constantly be thinning your deck. That's what we called in Magic, where only the best cards are left because it keeps flipping, right? So you don't want any fluff in there, and it's very expensive to get rid of cards. So a lot of the economy is based on that. Anyway, fucking great game, and so the multiplayer is 4 people playing a randomly assorted deck, because there's different factions. There's up to 5 factions, and it's almost like Magic the Gathering, where there's like the red team and the blue team, like ice people. And
the 5 colors.
Yeah, there's the fucking nature people and all that. But your deck is made of 2 of those. And if you play the multiplayer, those random 2 it's just random. Everybody gets the same deck, and then whoever gets the furthest, the fastest, wins. And so it's a race, really. It's not like you're going up against each other. But it's cool because, people have played 1 million hours of this. There's still something there for them, But for me, on the low end, the progression is awesome. So you start off with 1 race, and then you go as far as you can, and then you're getting XP for that race, and then eventually you get the second race, and go on and on and on. And then I have 4 races, and then now I finally beat the game with 4 races, and I unlock the 5th race. So that's a lot of combinations right there with 5 different classes, and you mix 2. But then at a certain level, you can add a 3rd race into your decks. So that's even more depth. I'm nowhere near any of this, but you can see what's coming down. And the progress line is very evident. You're like, ooh, I want that, and I want that. And the only way to get that shit is to fucking play. But playing's a blast. So it's just fun all the way down, man. Yeah. I really can't say anything bad about
How
the
many
game.
people are playing this game right now? Sniper, if you could scroll down a little bit. I don't know if you have the augmented Steam plugin, or we can, check Steam charts. Because I'm interested to see what kind of community this has. It's got quite a few reviews, so I'm sure it's got a lot of people playing it.
You don't really need a community for this game, because I think the majority of it is single player.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,500 people.
Yeah. That's what you're here for. You're here for the single player. Hey, John, is it on the Switch? Because if it's on the Switch, it's fucking bought, and I'm gonna put the Steam to rest. Yeah. So anyway, rave review.
Monster Trench. That's about $20 on Steam right now. That might be on sale for the winter sale. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Which is still happening. The winter
So
sale.
Emilio, with a game like this, right? I just listened to your whole speech about how the game works and everything. Would you play a game like this if I told you that Magic the Gathering Arena was on your phone, or Magic the Gathering was free on your computer?
Yeah. The difference is that this is a single player game. The multiplayer, they just added it for fun. You're going up. It's a deck building game. You're building your deck as you play in a game. It's not really a TCG.
But would you have more fun with a TCG in the sense of playing multiplayer, or would you have more fun playing single player?
It depends. Deck building games are really fun. There are multiplayer deck building games. There's one called Chad bought it one time. It's really fun. Sam used to play with us as well. Fuck, I can't think of the name. But anyway,
Hearthstone?
huh? No,
Is it Hearthstone?
no. I have played Magic Arena. The only thing is it's so time consuming. You sit down, you're going to play a 20, 30-minute game. This, you can pause. You could be watching a movie on the side because much like Slay the Spire, it's the perfect side game. There's nobody's going to be waiting for you to take your turn. The game will just sit there for 3 days for you to come back and just click the next thing. Nothing happens without your participation. So yeah, it's good especially for a guy who gets pulled away from his computer every 10 seconds because something's exploding in the house. The single player is the way to go for me.
Yeah, I'm actually sold on this. I might check this out. I don't know. I got a pretty busy week here, and I'll just mention this quickly. But huge thanks to Warconius buying me a copy of Death Stranding.
Holy shit.
Yeah, out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm 100% going to be playing that this week. I'm excited because I am not like. I'm kind of new to those types of games, and of course, this is just such a weird game that people have always. Nobody ever describes the game right.
Yeah.
It's one of those games I guess you just have to play because it's such a unique game. So I have another week off. This is the perfect time to do it. So I'm going to be getting heavy into that. But I'm going to throw this on my wish list, or I'll maybe install it because we're doing family sharing.
Yeah, there you go.
But at some point, I do want to check out Monster Train.
Bobby, you have to. So we have to set up some family share so I can play. What do you call it?
Oh yeah,
Half-Life.
Yeah, that's right. We got to do that.
So, Bobby, one thing I will say, as someone who owns Death Stranding and who has played like 8 to 10 hours of it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is very hard for me to say because I'm a big Hideo Kojima fan. The first 4/5 hours are all fluff. Like the first main chapter of the game is all fluff. Once you get past that, once you unlock combat, you will have more fun. And that's a terrible thing to say.
Well, aren't a lot of his games like that? I feel like there's a lot of build up to a lot of his games, like the Metal Gear Solid games. I don't know.
That's true and that's not. But one thing, one thing in gaming news that we've heard is that, he is making Silent Hills, which is the continuation of PT. He is working on another Metal Gear Solid project, and they're remaking Metal Gear Solid 1, but Death Stranding is his first game in over 20 years of making with his own production company.
Yeah.
And I will give you the cautionary, wait, it's 4 to 5 hours until you actually hit the real game. After the first boss fight, you will hit the real game.
Damn, that's a lot. But in a game like that, the only thing is like, if you don't know anything about the game, the mystery is what compels you to keep going, right? It's like, what the fuck is going on in this world? Right?
Oh yeah, like you're talking to the guy who has a Death Stranding. If you look at my webcam, baby, like on his mantle, but like it is an amazing game, and unfortunately, I haven't finished it, and that's my fault. But it is a great game, but you have to take it with a grain of salt, and that's does that make the game worse? Kinda.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with your expectations, though, and not just about Death Stranding, but about a lot of games. Like if you're able to accept the game on its terms and know what you're getting yourself into, then I think that's okay. Like if I've got to be somewhere in an hour and I fire the game up, that's probably not a good call, and that could negatively affect my opinion of the game. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm open to whatever it's going to be. Like I want to find out for myself. So
exactly. As much as I think this, Bobby, I think you will enjoy the game. The things that people have found as quote unquote boring, I think you will enjoy.
Yeah, I'm a pretty boring person. So. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think Deep Rock's boring too, man. Like and it's weird because games that I wouldn't call it boring, dude. I find Deep Rock to be almost relaxing in a way because it's not super challenging at times, and it's kind of like just like an explore and mine and just do like some tasks that could get repetitive. Dude. Yeah,
I remember,
bro.
I remember way back when TF2 devs were talking about exactly that, peaks and valleys. You can't have just a game revving at 100% all the time because that eventually becomes boring. But like in TF2, when you start you go on a kill streak, you don't know this, but you actually start critting more the better you do, so that it emphasizes your peaks being, your highs being very high. And then lows, you can just keep walking. You know, you go up against people that have their crit higher, you know, and they're just wasting you as soon as you come out of the hut.
Yeah.
Fort.
Ooh, all right. Scott, Pilgrim vs. the World has a video game. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it just so it's coming out next month.
Oh, it's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet, and it's for the 10-year anniversary of the movie. I didn't know anything about Scott Pilgrim. I guess it's a comic book, I think is where it comes from. Anyway, I watched the movie.
Correct.
I thought it was great, man. I really enjoyed it. And now there's a video game that's about the movie that is like a video game, right? So it's all come full circle. It's a
It's like a beat 'em up brawler game.
yeah, it's a beat 'em up brawler game. Pixel graphics. I think it looks great. Like cartoony characters. You have to check it out to see it for yourself. It's something you like. If they get the gameplay down, I feel like the last few games of these, man, we tried playing, especially Streets of Rage, was a huge letdown for me personally. The last one I liked was Mother Russia Bleeds. I thought that one was pretty solid. As far as the beat 'em up part of it, you know.
Those are tough games to do because talk about repetitive. Those games really, and I played all of them, man. I loved Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, all those games. I played like the Ninja Turtles one on the Nintendo. Like I played those to death, dude. Like I beat those. I can't even tell you how many times. And the newer ones, like they come out and it's weird because you have to find a groove with them. With the Streets of Rage Neon, I think it was called. I played that
Double
one.
Dragon Neon?
Double Dragon Neon, thank you. I played that one all the way through at least once. And that one has like this blocking system you can use to like recharge or something, like a counter system that's really hard to do. But once you start getting it, then it actually becomes really fun to pull that off. And it's just, I don't know. It was kind of the same with Mother Russia Bleeds. Like you have to find these little grooves of these things that they do very well. But at the core of it, I think brawler beat 'em up is just like kind of a boring.
Antiquated as shit. Dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boring genre.
Yeah.
Or they were made for arcades. They were made
Right.
so people just keep pumping quarters in,
Yeah.
right? Like the Simpsons one. Like that's the whole idea with this. You're not supposed to be able to make it through the whole game without like pumping in a few more quarters and getting a few more lives.
Just bring it up to date, man. Like, okay, keep the regular game, you know, as it is, but you need progression, and then you have to do the progression right, or the scaling and the difficulty should be crazy between levels.
I mean, the one that I think about that's modern, but not really because it's actually kind of old now is Castle Crashers. That's the one that really
Right.
broke through in the modern day.
Right.
And that one, yeah, they did a lot of like new kind of gaming cliche things where they had different characters that had different abilities. You could level each of them up. So, you know, you could play with a friend and it's like, oh, cool, they're leveling up my character. And they had different abilities for each character. You could get new weapons and yeah, they had all these different things to them. So
See, I'm a genius. It was what I just said really happened.
so
I
don't
never
know.
played Castle Crashers.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
you
wild,
say that every
dude.
time I say that. Yeah,
Oh man,
it's wild.
I can't. I feel like you've never told me that before. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know,
River
man.
City Girls, Bobby. Have you played that?
No, I mean I played River City Ransom, but not the new one. And I've heard it's very good actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played a good brawler beat 'em up.
Nick, you want to talk about some stuff? Oh, he's gone.
Disappear.
We're slippery Mexicans, dude. You can't. No fences nor video will keep us in one spot.
Well, River City Girls is on Game Pass. Okay,
There you go.
cool.
You've probably been using it less than you thought you were going to, huh?
I'm using it as little as I thought I was going to. That's why I didn't get it in the first place. God, and I would love to play it because it expires in a week
Really? It's been 3 months since I sent that to you?
Mm-hmm.
I would have guessed you had another month. So
No, it's a January. Well, maybe it's 2 weeks, but it is coming up. But God, I just got so much on my plate right now.
Nick, you want to talk about
So
some
what-
stuff?
So let's talk about what?
Some stuff?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm on here. So, as someone who is of
Drunk?
mixed ethnicity, yes, drunk as well. I want to ask you, Bobby.
It's so funny,
Because
dude.
me
I
and
don't
Emilio-
think I never think of you as mixed, but yeah, you're like 25% white, right?
25%. That's correct.
Yeah.
Number. Bobby, as someone who has grown up in your demographic, I'm trying not to sound racist. What is considered as a traditional Christmas dinner for you?
Everything you've seen in every movie ever, probably.
Yeah,
is
pretty
what I'm
much,
guessing.
man. Like you just look at the movies. I don't know. Traditional Christmas. Here's the weird thing. Like my family always makes enchiladas on Halloween. That's like
Racist. Cultural appropriation.
Racism.
But for Christmas, it is typically God, I
Turkey,
don't-
ham.
Yeah, like turkey,
Cranberry.
ham. And, I mean,
But
that's
how
more
does
like
that differ
Thanksgiving.
from? How does it differ from Thanksgiving? That's something that me and my wife, born and raised in Texas, 100% pale. We talked about this Christmas, and we had brisket, we had Brussels sprouts and mashed potatoes. But compared to Thanksgiving, I look at traditional Christmas food; it's almost the same stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much is. If you look at like A Christmas Carol, he buys the Christmas turkey at the end, right? Like go buy the big turkey in the window. But for me, like I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this because my family is filled with cooks, and they love to cook all sorts of
Crazy
stuff.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
it's always something.
Do you appreciate it?
Yeah, and it's probably why I never learned to cook because now I mean a lot of if you look at my family too, they're pretty big too.
I've seen
they're
you twist the top of a fucking soylent like an extraordinaire, dude. You're like that Salt Bay guy, Salt Bay. You just twist those things off,
Yeah,
dude.
I take the knife and I slice it off like like a fancy restaurant, like a
Are you
champagne
still
bar.
on that? You still?
Soylent? Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's probably like half my meals.
It worked for me too, up until I was drinking 15 a day or whatever.
Yeah, it's impossible to do it like completely. Like I do it. It's probably half my meals, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less sometimes, but yeah, probably half.
How was everybody's Christmas?
I mean, it was all right. It was all on Zoom. For what we had to do, it's it went fine. Yeah.
Thanks.
Because
Did you get anything cool, Bobby?
No. People never know what to get me, and I never ask for anything because I don't need anything, and I don't really want anything. When I
Alright.
get stuff, it's just like,
you-
where am I going to put this?
You think that, Bobby, until you go on Elfster, and then like, what's your wish list? And then you're like me, who's wishing for action figures that I don't fucking need, and other things like that.
I don't know, man. You got to be
I-
careful what you wish for, at least according to that new Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
More on that later.
We got to talk about that. I don't
We
understand that
definitely
part.
got to talk about that. But Emilio, so what did you have for Christmas this year?
It's funny that like you have very grandiose motions and stuff. Like this is going to be the most profound question ever. You're like, what'd you have for dinner, basically? Yeah, we had basically white people dinner. We had ham, turkey. Oh, steak. No, we didn't have turkey. We had steak. So we had
Not a
a
single tamale in sight. I am insulted.
we had a prime rib.
God, see, that's funny. We do tamales, but we do it like 2 weeks before, and like my brother does it at his house, and it's like a whole thing. We all come over and make it, which it usually is with tamales. It's like the making of them is like the fun part.
I'm not into tamales.
Not a fan either.
Yeah.
Really? Of all the people in this world who love Mexican food so much that has a segment on his podcast, you don't love tamales?
No. Nope.
I mean, they're all right, but it's just like I'd rather have a burrito. I'd rather have an enchilada. I'd rather have a taquito or
Pretty
a
much
taco.
anything, right?
Like, yeah, dude, I'll take literally anything over except flan. Although we did have some good flan the other day. Yeah.
Flan, dude.
Flan.
Yeah.
Flan. Long A with the umlaut over it. I will say, as someone who can appreciate both sides of the coin, Bobby, I love your pronunciations of Mexican American food, and Emilio, I love your integration of it into the podcast. But I'm honestly surprised that you did not have tamales for dinner.
Well, I did. Bobby is going to get a gift. I'm going to go get it for him.
Oh, boy.
And
Awesome. Oh, let's see it.
he knows exactly where he's going to put it.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Emilio to return, what are we going to talk about, Nick?
So, Emilio, I mean, no. Wow, I'm off this. Bobby, as someone who has done Steam sales 1,000 times, is there anything that has caught your eye in the winter Steam sale for this year?
Absolutely nothing. And Emilio's back. All right.
There we go. He's already here.
Popcorn mix, caramel, white cheddar, and butter popcorn. Awesome. This is perfect, man. See, this is a good idea for a gift for me. I guess there is something I want. Popcorn.
See?
Because I always, like, I can never have enough, right? It's like, I don't know. It's
Dude.
like water, pretty much. Like, I always have to have some on deck.
JP sent me the assortment that he sent you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. It's so good.
It is. Dude, the, what is it? It's like the cookies and cream one. That's pretty much a meal, dude. Like, I had that for dinner, like, several nights.
There's 1,400 calories in 2 cups of this. I
Yeah.
can't breathe.
Oh, the calories are ridiculous.
I ate the jalapeno cheddar one in one sitting. Just like sat down and just ate the whole bag. while
That
I
one was
watched.
too hot for me. That took me a long time to finish because it was just too
Nope.
hot.
It was nonstop, dude. Just fucking shoveled that shit until. And the other one that went quick was the butter than the movies. It's just basically buttered popcorn. Did you get that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the standard
That one went super quick.
super buttery.
You guys want to hear some popcorn sacrilege? So, as someone who likes following traditions, I go to Target of all places to pick up 3 flavor popcorn, which is cheddar, caramel, and regular popcorn. I buy two buckets of it. Come home, we eat it. Everyone's excited. We eat it. No flavor at all.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah.
That is
So
rough.
I wish Diddy acknowledge my existence and send me some of that good stuff.
Well, I mean, I buy the cheapest popcorn from Costco. So,
Hey, Jim,
I'm used to like flavorless popcorn.
the scratch was the selling point on that one. Hey, JP, can you link that company, dude, so we can order our own popcorn?
Yeah.
That
Well, I
shit-
think they're local to Indy or Ohio.
Yeah, but I think they have a website. You can order it.
But
Oh, yeah,
but
because
still,
they had it shipped. Okay.
Yeah.
We should give them a
Go,
plug.
go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, we should give them a plug.
No, go ahead, man. I'm going to take a bite of popcorn here. Crunch
So,
it right
It's called almostfamouspopcorn.com, and it's that's at the website as well. www.almostfamouspopcorn.com.
this is going to sound as the most hammy thing in the world. Me and my wife, our favorite thing is to go to the movies, and our favorite part of the movies is not actually the movie, is the popcorn and Coke. Like that's our thing. And so when we can't get good popcorn, we're dying.
Yeah.
So now that we have like a faithful source, was it almost famous or almost famous?
Yeah.
Almost famous
We're-
popcorn. Yep.
We're definitely gonna hit this up.
By the way, movie popcorn. Buy some Milk Duds. I think it's Milk Duds. Yeah, Milk Duds. You put them in your mouth with the popcorn. Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't like chocolate. You know what's crazy? What a friend of mine did, I tried it and it was amazing. He put jalapenos in the popcorn.
Oh,
It's
that
actually
sounds
pretty good. It was really good.
Do you-
Yeah.
do you-
But I don't buy
Emilio-
popcorn at movie theaters, dude. That's like, dude, you'll drop like $30 on a popcorn and a Coke at a movie theater.
Yeah.
Unless, well, they don't have this theater here in San Diego anymore. There used to be this one single theater out here, or single screen theater out here
Where?
called the Ken.
Ken, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's over off of Adams, Normal
Oh,
Heights.
okay.
but I used to go down there and, you know, they'd show old movies, man. I watched like Buster Keaton, like just all the old shit there. And then they'd have like the indie stuff they wouldn't show anywhere, you know? So like foreign films and things. But they would sell like this bag of popcorn for super cheap. It was like $2 for like a big brown sack of popcorn. And then they always ask you, you know, it's only 75 cents for a large. And the large is just ridiculous, man. It's just obscene. And there's no way I can finish it, but it's like 75 cents. Of course I'm going to do that. So I always get like this garbage bag full of popcorn every time I go there. And I always like, I don't know if you've ever eaten too much popcorn, like just way too much. It does weird things to your body, man. Like you're hungry yet full, and then
And
like
thirsty.
yeah,
Sure.
and thirsty, and then when you have to go to the bathroom, dude, it's just like, what was that? Like, it's the,
Speaking of movie theaters, Bobby, do you have an experience off the?
I don't know. We've been talking so
ready to
off
go?
topic here. I feel like we should. I'll tell my movie theater experience bit.
Another time.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. You fixed some more episodes.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that real quick because some people have been asking about it. We had a problem with our website when we switched things up, where our older episodes could not be downloaded. So it's actually an easy fix, but I have to do it one by one. So I've been going through it slowly, and as of now, you can go back to, I believe it's August. I wrote it down. August 2017. Everything, all the episodes from August 2017 till now should be working, and I'll continue to fix that so you can even get the ones back in 2013. If you dare.
Yeah, it's not good, guys. Just listen to the first 10 seconds of this podcast and extrapolate that and make
Yeah.
it worse.
Imagine 2 hours of that.
Yeah. 2 hours
That was
of-
back in the day when I would like literally just turn on the podcast, listen for the first minute so that you guys would get credit on like iTunes and stuff, and then just stop listening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I see here we have Sniper putting on in the background Beaver Tails. What the fuck Canadian shit is that?
Beaver tails, dude. It's I think it's actually from Poland. It's like a deep fried cookie covered with sweets.
Are you high, dude?
Am I
Usually.
yeah, I'm pretty fucked up.
Those actually look like beaver tails.
Listen,
Yeah.
you can't just walk into work. This is work, God damn it, and be under the influence. Meanwhile,
I know, dude. I've had so many pee breaks this episode. I'm like approaching your level of like leaving. It's pretty crazy.
Meanwhile, Nick is fucking wasted. All right, what do we got?
We have Ancestors, the Humankind's Odyssey.
Yeah, is that the
Have
one with
you
the
guys-
monkeys?
Yeah, you play as a monkey before
A proto-human.
Like
This game was like, they ran a trailer for it, I think at the Game Awards, and everybody was pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It looked really cool. And then the game came out, and it was just like, it was dead on arrival.
Yeah, but maybe it's been
Well, here-
improving.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So here's the thing about this game. Like, I wonder, because it's strictly single player, do you guys think that this game would have been a little bit more well received if you could play as multiplayer? Because the single player story requires on like a narrative and stuff. But from my understanding and like my, couple of videos that I've seen, you are literally just reacting to like oohs and ahs from literal monkey people from over 1 million years ago. Like how does that translate to compare to like a Cyberpunk, for example, that's giving you, text, captions, and everything compared to oohs and ahs?
It depends, man. I don't know. Fun is fun. If points are arbitrary, right? If I got 10,000 points on this one, but if monkeys are oohing, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just rewarding your.
I don't know. The game looked really cinematic, and that's really what it had going for it. It looked great in a trailer, but when you actually got down to the gameplay, I don't think there was really a whole lot going on.
What's it sitting at? I can't quite read that. Is it 7? What percentage is that at?
Is that 81?
81's pretty good. I think it's done better recently.
Yeah, but we looked at Steam charts and it's got, well, I mean, it's a single player game.
Single player
500 people playing right
That's
now.
pretty good.
All time peak was 2,800 though. I mean, it's not terrible. But this, I feel like this was touted as a AAA game when they announced it. Like it was going to be a big deal. That's the impression that I got.
But the answer is no, Bobby or Nick, because like, not because it's not going to be better if it's multiplayer. The problem is it's so much harder to make a multiplayer game. Talking to Chad, who's in the biz, he says it's literally half the work. So for a game like this, it would be double the work to make it multiplayer. So if they have enough money to make it a AAA title, just a single, then they were not going to be able.
Well, who
to
made this game?
I think it was a small developer, man, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Yep.
first game for
First
this
game.
For this developer.
Not bad,
But
you know, it looks good. 81%. That's a good outing.
yeah, I'm gonna pick this up and play because it's $18, and the thing that turns me off about survival crafting is the multiplayer.
And I'm
I
high
hate
as
logging
fuck.
on and my shit's gone.
I'm high as fuck, and I want to play a monkey game.
Exactly, dude.
Well, I might have something that might intrigue you even more, Sniper. Have you ever played The Forest?
The Forest? Oh, boy.
No. I think Bobby
So
has though, right?
Yeah, I played The Forest at different points in its development and not a fan. I played it when it first came out in early access and it was super rough, man. Like just really, really rough. I did like that it had kind of a horror aspect to it. And then I played it right when the multiplayer patch came. And then that was really, really bad. Like they got it working, but this was just like from a weird time period where everything was crafting survival and it was all built on like these engines and just done really like Rust. Like remember that game? It just that game really wasn't good. The hitboxes were like super off and it just I don't know. I'm sure this game is totally
we created
different now.
the Gate of Mordor or the Black Gate. We built a base in between rocks, and we
remember
spent
this.
like 30 hours, and then somebody out of nowhere just blew up our base.
Wow. It was fun, dude. We had fun for 2 weeks. What more do you expect out of a game?
I don't know.
We had a blast. I had a blast.
I feel like
I
at
had a
this
blast.
point with these types of games, if you want to play single player, Subnautica, hands down. If you want to play multiplayer, Ark.
So speaking of Ark and speaking of The Forest, so the reason why I brought up The Forest in the first place is that The Forest is getting a sequel and is known as Sons of the Forest. And it is where you can, so it's the same map as The Forest. You play as the SWAT team / special forces team that go to the island and investigate why there are missing people. The main game mechanic change is that you can
Oof.
recruit the mutants and even the cannibals that exist in the game. And
You have
so
candy bars, or
the what?
I wonder how do you sway these people to your side? Candy bars, or
So from my understanding, and you know, I've put over 100 hours in The Forest itself.
Holy shit,
From my
dude.
understanding, is that there are 3 different tribes on the island. Some of them are combat based, so that you will earn reputation by killing some of them. Some of them are food based, where you supply food to them, whether it be people, whether it be squirrels, deer, alligator, whatever you give them to. And then the other one is just pure chaos, where you can't really determine what they like and what they don't like. But in this new game, it seems to be that you can recruit every faction to be on your side. And spoiler alert, The Forest, the first game, the end of the game is where you discover that there is a company that is developing a resurrection serum that resurrects dead people, and the reason why there's mutants and stuff on this island is because of them. And so this second game that's coming out, known as the Sons of the Forest, is coming out, I believe, March of next year, and will use the same engine, use the same island, but completely change what you're playing and who you're playing. Like, you have a gun, you have a machine gun, and it becomes less scripted and more free.
It's less alien and more aliens. I feel like you're just gonna fucking lay them out if you need to with the machine gun. Nick, what'd you do for 100 hours?
Well,
Multiplayer?
I got some friends, and we built a church, and then I became a Southern Baptist preacher and began to run a sermon where we began to exterminate everyone on the island and continue the story, because with the newest patch compared to what Bobby played, you could actually play the full story in multiplayer. So
Interesting.
Yeah, they
So-
didn't even have a story when I played last.
When are we getting that, Nick?
So, like I said, the earliest release time is March of next year, but they said 2021 is for sure when it's coming out. I honestly think it would have come earlier than later because of the fact that it is the same engine, the
Yeah.
same island, the same map,
It does look
the
prettier,
same
though.
assets.
It's almost like a DLC, huh?
Exactly. I don't think it should be considered a second game, maybe just an add-on, but I'm definitely hyped about this. Bobby, I would love to play this game with you and Emilio, because you can play up to 8 players together.
This is
And
almost-
it's also supported by VR.
This is not what this is, but it does remind me a little of Opposing Force, because you see the other side of the thing. You know, like, oh, now the special forces come in and see what the fuck was going on the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Exactly.
where we at? Raft, second chapter. Oh, is there a sequel to the Raft?
So yeah, this is huge news. Came out this week. The Raft, known as the survival game on water, is finally coming to land. They have announced their newest DLC, which is free with a purchase of the game. It is known as the second chapter, where you can discover an island with actual skyscrapers on it, settle the island, and the island functions as a dungeon. You can build things. You can find a home island where instead of ending the game where you find the oil rig with stories on it, you can actually build, and there's new enemies, new enemy types, more enemies that they actually show in the trailer. There's new mechanics, and so it's no longer just the game of survival on water. That is just the beginning of the game. Now there's a lot of automation, and they're expanding into land, as weird as that sounds.
That's cool, man. See, like, there's a bunch of different ways you could do like continuations or DLCs. The Forest seemed like they just stuck to what they know. Raft went a completely different way. When you're on a raft, I believe it was a survival crafting where you kind of like fish things that you need out of the water and add them to your raft, and you create a bit bigger raft. And now this is like expanding into like I don't know, some sort of adventure game.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I added this game to our the show notes, was to show the difference between the Forest and the new Forest
didn't,
DLC
dude.
and the
I
Raft.
picked that out. That was all me, dude.
No,
There's
I don't know
no-
what you're talking about. I'm definitely shoehorning myself into the situation, but no, it like you said, it is a big difference as far as DLC styles. You go from story and really just building on its own game compared to completely changing the aspect of the game.
Right. Cool.
And that game's about $15. It looks like.
Yeah, it's $15 American. The first part compared to what I've played with my friends, and I played with 7 friends at once, was about 4 hours long. The newest part is supposed to be like continuation of dungeons and things to keep doing, so which is quote unquote infinitely long. So if you guys want to host a DLG community day, we can all log into Raft and play, together.
Oh, I didn't even know it was multiplayer, man, until right now. So you could have a bunch of people on your raft all trying to like build up the raft.
So from what I've seen and I've played, you can go up to 8, but I believe the new DLC brings it up to 12.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, you can make like a super weird looking, like whatever raft you want. We made this ultra wide trash picker upper where we just picked up tires and bunch of trash, and a horizontal plane, but you can do whatever you want.
Oh, so there's a little Minecrafty in there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Cool.
Very cool. It's like Waterworld.
That's it. That's the base of the game is Waterworld.
Yeah.
So I see you have Christmas presents on here. Bobby doesn't like presents, nor happiness, nor life force.
Humbug.
I asked for a leather jacket because I've had a leather jacket since high school and it's starting to fall apart. So I wanted a leather jacket. Sam said they're ugly, and she got me whatever the fuck she wanted. She got me a massager because I come home so beat up from work, and I was like, first of all, you bought this for yourself. It's a vibrator. It's a giant vibrator, and it has different attachments, and I know what you're gonna do with them. And then I made all the jokes, and I was pretty disappointed. And then I put it on me, dude. And this motherfucking thing feels fantastic. It's from the Sharper Image, and the whole thing, from the opening the box, everything, the way it feels, it's just quality. Like I don't know what she paid for this thing, but it's it does what it says it's gonna do. It's like a deep tissue massager. It feels great to hold. It charges. It holds a lot of charge. I can't say a bad thing about it. I haven't worked since, so once I have a really bad day and come home and it fixes me up, I'll give you. Yeah, that's it right there, or at least it looks.
Is it a Theragun? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's
Those are, so the main company that made those is called Theragun, and everything that you see that it's not a Theragun is a knockoff.
Yeah,
but they're apparently amazing.
Dude, that thing is the fucking shit. And no, you know what? I don't think it would work on a vagina. By the way, it's like it's a pounding, not a vibrating.
I don't know, man.
Although pounding does work on vaginas, but this thing wouldn't.
It looks like a power tool.
Yeah, dude, this thing is
no, it really is like a power tool. But that's what makes it feel good on your back, your thighs, whatever you have pain on.
Nick, if you know about this, you've probably thought about it. I'd say just fucking buy it.
I've had it used on me in physical therapy as someone that is quote unquote broken, and it feels great. But I don't justify you spending $120 on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you don't like happiness either. Very quickly.
No. So as far as Christmas presents go, we did have our DLG Christmas exchange. What did you get, Emilio?
I got I got I talked about it last week. It was Creeping World 4, and I haven't played it since then. So it's like
so you got a Steam game.
It's a single player RTS, yeah.
Okay, so I got a physical gift. Shout out to Days, my homegirl. She got me 2 sets of Chaos Cultists for Warhammer.
Oh, sick.
I think this is something that we should definitely do every year. That's not because I received 2 sets of Chaos Cultists, but in the sense of it really brings the community together.
Yeah, dude. I was
the option of being able to get a digital item compared to a physical item, depending on your preference, is amazing. Bobby, we're forcing you to participate next year.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
Yeah. That was bullshit, Bobby.
Oh God. All right.
Bobby,
Next
that was
year.
bad, dude.
Donate it.
Bro, it's $20.
If you don't like it, donate.
If that.
I'm sure I'll like it.
It's like
but
trying to
just,
get water out of a rock, dude.
It's like another thing to do with the holidays.
No, Bobby, it's easy. Like legit.
I'm sure
you get a message on your phone that says, "Oh, you got Diddy, and Diddy wants meat," and it's like, "Oh, this is the meats he wants. Choose what meat you want for Diddy," and then that's it. That's literally it. It's
Diddy
so
meats.
easy.
I got
Those
some meat for Diddy.
Dude.
Hey,
Come
Nick,
on.
I think that tin of popcorn that you bought, did it look like this one? Because
Which one?
There's some flavorless shit we got, Bobby, dude. I'm telling you.
Let me see it. No, that's the same one we got.
Yeah, dude.
I got that one and a gold one, and it tastes like fucking sawdust.
Yeah, dude. The caramel.
Well,
The caramel tastes good, but
these ones, I'm telling you, I've had plenty of these. They're the three, like the caramel, the plain, the cheese, and they always come in the can like that. And they have to stack them full of preservatives so they stay fresh in those cans. So yeah, they always they don't taste. It's not like movie theater popcorn, but yeah, dude. Like I said, my standards aren't high. I buy like the jumbo pack from Costco and just get like the cheapest stuff. The really annoying thing about the super cheap popcorn from Costco isn't the taste.
But does it taste good
No,
from Costco?
no,
What are you doing?
it's terrible.
Spend the extra money and go with almost
I have the
famous.
good stuff at my girlfriend's house. It's like it has the cheese
Oh,
powder.
who
and you
buys
shake
that,
it up.
Bobby? Who buys that?
He's got the fucking next
tired of it.
Netflix
I'm
subscription
tired of it.
and the popcorn
I'm
at his
tired of it.
girlfriend's
This
house.
is it, dude. I've hit my limit. I'm sick. You mooch off of her fucking subscriptions, her fucking popcorn supply, dude. That's it, dude. That's too far. That's too far. I'm sure you drink fucking 0% milk at your place.
I don't
Yeah,
drink
whole
milk.
milk
Ew,
over
milk.
there.
No.
Jesus Christ,
I'm a water
dude.
guy. But
Oh my god.
the worst part about cheap popcorn is the
You don't have to buy it. That's the best part, dude. You don't have. You could, whatever you're gonna say could completely segue by $2 extra.
no. What happened is I got someone at work gave me like a gift card for like a bunch of money at Costco. So I went to Costco and I literally bought.
Supply.
I literally bought like as much popcorn as $100 will get you. It was very weird at checkout. But the problem with really cheap popcorn is that the kernels don't really pop like all the way, so you always get the little like shell things stuck in your
Not
teeth.
with Almost Famous, dude.
No.
No.
Every bit of that is like
Fully
completely
popped.
good. Yeah.
They filter it out. I feel like.
Yeah. And like a lot of stuff, if you go to like a movie theater, then that stuff like falls to the bottom, with the kernels and everything. So
I've got the good stuff at my girlfriend's house, implying that he buys it and then takes it to her house. No, don't think
He's got a
that's what's
hoard of
going
like
on.
popcorn to last like 3 years. It's like 6 different flavors. There's like Oreo, Sour Patch Kids. It's all him, dude.
Well,
it doesn't expire.
basically-
it's
what's happening-
kind of her fault, dude. She's an enabler.
No, yeah, she knows how to get you to come over, dude. It's obvious.
She said, "Come over. You can kiss me, love me. I got popcorn, whatever you want, baby."
I just imagine like every time he goes over there, it's that scene from American Beauty where the roses are falling, but it's popcorn, and he's just falling back on the popcorn.
Oh man. But I am kind of like you, Nick, where like I have, well, not when I go to movie theaters, but when I watch movies at home, like I have to have popcorn. And I watch like a movie a day, and like I almost always have to have popcorn when I watch a movie.
Did you end up watching the new Christmas Carol I told you about on FX?
I was going to, then it was like 3 hours long, and then I watched the Muppet
Bruh,
Christmas Carol.
It's like 3 episodes that are hour
Yeah.
long. You're completely
I
right.
know. Well, it's a TV show that's all in one episode, basically. But I do want to check it out because it's supposed to be like kind of a scary version of it. So I'm interested to see that take on it. But every Christmas this happens, man. Like so far, I have seen 3 different versions of A Christmas Carol. I've seen the Muppet Christmas Carol, Scrooged. I watch those 2 every year. I've seen the Mr. Magoo one. I saw the Rankin Bass one. Like I've seen Christmas Carol over and over again this holiday season.
I've been watching the Santa Claus.
With Tim Allen?
With Tim Allen?
Yeah,
The
so my
different-
girlfriend will not
different
let me
ones.
put that on when I'm at her house.
Those are good.
Why?
Those are good Christmas movies.
She doesn't like Tim
It's a
Allen.
great Christmas movie.
Yeah, so
Why?
I told her like I'd watch it. All right, I'm watching that one on my own. And then she said like, well, what if we watch this movie?
Why does she not like Tim Allen?
I don't know.
I know he's very right wing.
He's very vocal now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably why. But he's also like, I don't know if he's had like any public incidents other than the time he got arrested for dealing cocaine
he
in
was
the
a kid.
80s. Yeah,
He was like 20 years old.
that mugshot's hilarious, by the way. Oh, there it is, dude. Doesn't even look like him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I grew up on Home Improvement, so like, of course I love Tim Allen. And
Yeah.
the Santa Claus, yeah, dude. Love that movie. Yeah.
The meme quote that's not your guys' age, unfortunately, but what it is can you say every vowel with IOU at the end of it, and then you go, "Ugh?" And that's what it is nowadays. So,
Oh,
Bobby, can we
God.
get your best? Can you say every vowel with IOU at the end?
I don't think I can do that, dude. No, I would be terrible at it. I can't do a Tim Allen impression.
Gosh, look at the difference. Man, he's old. Shit.
Yeah. But
Dude,
I mean, he had a
we're
good run,
all
dude.
old.
That guy's Buzz Lightyear, for crying out loud. Like, he's had a good career, and he did Last Man Standing, which I haven't really
Ooh,
watched.
See this the teaser for the new Buzz?
Oh, no, I heard about
it's almost
that.
like a live
I
action film,
haven't
right?
seen it, but I heard about it. So they're doing like a backstory on him, basically, right?
Yeah, his origin. But
Like who the Buzz Lightyear character or toy is based on, right?
Be right back. Gotta pee.
I'm not 100% sure. What I think I know is that it's like an action flick coming from Pixar. That's what I think I know.
I don't know if it's live action or not, but it's supposed to be about a show or a TV show or a movie called Buzz Lightyear, and then supposedly like that show is the reason why they made the Buzz Lightyear toy, which is then featured in Toy Story. So it's kind of like like a real weird origin story, but I like that angle. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. And I can't remember, they got some big actor attached. I can't remember who.
On Reddit, usually, I wish you would go. I swear you would love this subreddit. I send you stuff sometimes, movie details. So on movie details, it's usually in the top 30 posts, something from movie details. And this time it was the Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She falls out of the car, and you could see her vagina for a 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Not her vagina, but it's just like no panties. It's just like flesh colored, right? And I was like, oh, I thought that was just like
An urban legend.
I thought it was an urban legend, but apparently, yeah, they had a frame by frame or whatever. It's just like, it's not the promised land, guys. It's just literally one frame of pink instead of black. And then I went to this link of like sexual things in Disney movies
No, there's a
throughout
lot
the
of
ages, and there's a lot of them. One that was really interesting was that I thought it was interesting that they put it in here, but so. When he meets Jessie, when Buzz meets Jessie, the cowgirl, she does some like acrobatic heroic shit real quick, and one of his wings pops up, like, and he's kind of bent over, and it's like really like it's a swing moment. It's just like swing, you know. And I was like, all right, guys, that doesn't even that pales in comparison to like everything else.
Yeah, dude, Little Mermaid had quite a few of them.
Dude, the priest gets a heart on at the wedding.
Yeah, at the wedding, as he says, as we gather here today, or dearly beloved, or something. Yeah, there's a part in Toy Story that I can't remember if it exists or not, and I feel like the first time I ever saw that movie, like back in '95, I saw it, and then they changed it. But it's a part where Woody accidentally calls Buzz Lightyear Bud Light beer. And I feel like they took that out because it was a reference to alcohol in a kid's movie.
Right.
But I swear, dude, Same thing happened with Step Brothers, dude. I saw that movie in the theater, and there are parts in that movie that I saw in the theatrical release that I have never seen in a DVD release. It's very strange.
That's what happened with Roger Rabbit, dude. The theatrical.
I will agree. So believe it or not, that is something that I just saw this week. Bobby, I agree with you with the Step Brothers and the Toy Story. But something that I saw on Reddit this week was there was a guy who is a quote unquote movie like historian, and something that they removed from Roger Rabbit is a scene where Betty Boop is topless.
Oh, I saw that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For one frame, you could see her 2 fucking scratch marks of nipples. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy how they got the rights to show all those characters in Roger Rabbit.
If you think about it, dude, like the guys that were doing this were tech savvy young dudes at the time. So we're talking about like because nobody else had the skills. You're talking about 24, 25-year-olds. They're probably just looking to fucking like, troll a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Especially back then in 1963, 1971. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the artists that did like Roger Rabbit, Betty Boop, all those things that snuck things in between frames and stuff like that. Like they definitely wanted to write stuff.
Roger Rabbit was like
88, 87.
But I'm talking about the originators of Betty Boop. Like there's plenty of things that were drawn before she was publicized on like mass media that we had today, that there was a lot of things. You got to remember, she's 13 years old when she first comes out.
Is that really? Is that true?
Yeah, she's her whole existence is between the ages of 12 to 16 years old.
Holy shit, she's so much hotter now.
Wow.
All
Just gonna walk away from this conversation.
Let's jump to the end of the show.
Yeah,
huh?
we've got listener questions we should get to here before we
Yeah.
fully go off course. All right, first question comes from Clooney. Can each member of the podcast go around and recommend an anime for Bobby to watch? Yikes.
He's seen Ninja Scroll. That's probably my favorite of all time.
Yeah, God, I haven't. Well, no, I did rewatch that about 8 years ago. Here's the thing about it, though. Like, I'll literally watch any movie, just about any movie. But TV shows are really hard, dude. Like, my whole thing, like,
Which most anime, like 80%.
yeah, a lot of anime is. But like, to give you an example, The Mandalorian, I'm still on season or episode 7, dude. I got one more episode to go. Like, I've been planning to binge watch this on the break.
Has
and-
anything been spoiled for you by that? By the
Oh
way?
yeah, I know everything.
Oh.
I know just about everything.
I know everything.
What'd you think
can't-
of the Ahsoka episode?
I thought that one was good, but I don't know, man. Like, I didn't really get into it until Boba Fett showed up, because that's, you know, like straight to my heart, dude. Of course, Boba Fett, you know, when he comes back, I'm going to swoon. But the Ahsoka Tano one, I was just like, oh, man, they've gone full blown video game here, right? Like,
The way she looks?
no, dude. I just mean the show, you know, like he defeats a boss, he gets an armor upgrade or a weapon upgrade. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I guess, man.
I'm not
That's
like,
a really
it's
interesting way to look at it,
it's
because I never
beauty-
saw it as that way. I just saw it as a story progression.
This is the way I like it, dude. This is why I like it. It's beauty and simplicity. It's just like, bad guy, beat the bad guy. And it looks fantastic. And you don't need to complicate it at all. It's just like, he feels a kindred with his kid. It's not deep at all, and I feel like that's great.
yeah, and it doesn't need to be. So
It doesn't
I
need
don't
to
know.
be.
Yeah,
God damn it. I would. So this is not a strong. This is like a Quest for Fire, Bobby. Same thing. So like, I'm not recommending it to you. I'm not saying it's the greatest anime, but me and my friends were addicted to the Fatal. It was a video game from SNK.
Fatal Fury.
Fatal Fury anime movies. There was like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
And they were my favorite shit, dude. It wasn't as good as the Street Fighter movie. Street Fighter movie is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But these,
Yeah, I've never seen those. I'd check one out.
yeah, check one out, man. Maybe they're good. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And you know what's crazy, dude? Because you mentioned Street Fighter. Bloodsport was on TV the other night, and like I was watching a little bit of it, and I'm just like, holy shit, dude! Like the movie Mortal Kombat, the first one, basically just like not really ripped it off, but they used the same premise, and I'm like, why didn't they do this with the Street Fighter movie? Like, basically, we have a tournament going on, everybody's going to fight in
Cocaine,
it.
dude.
There's a little bit of story around it, but really, it's about, you know, this tournament. You know, yeah, dude, that was, I think the Street Fighter movie was when Jean-Claude was like finally admitting that he had a problem with drugs or something. I don't know if he went to rehab or something, but that was like the peak of his issues with cocaine.
Dude, I was at a kid's party yesterday, and one guy was obviously coked up, like ridiculous. And I was like, man, I do not miss talking to you, these kind of people, dude. It's just like, they think they have the greatest ideas. We're going to have so much fun. Call me. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, that's the worst, man. But that's got to be so out of place at a kid's party, dude.
It was weird, dude. It was
so
weird. Yeah.
Okay, next question from Orconius. This is directed towards Nick. As a Christmas present to me, rank the mainline Metal Gear Solid games. You can include Peace Walker.
So this is something I actually, when I
Emilio's
saw
leaving
it,
for
I
this.
took some time on the toilet to realize, you know, what is my favorite, what isn't my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Warconius, I know you're here because you're always here. You're omnipotent. As far as my rankings, it goes Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Metal Gear Solid 3. And your question of, you know, why my game is number 1. Metal Gear Solid 3 establishes the story of the main Snake, of Old Snake, or whatever you want to call him, and establishes the story of, do you hold an allegiance to the country you are born in, or do you hold a responsibility to what you think is right? The PS4 remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, where it redoes all of the mechanics, where it essentially is Metal Gear Solid 4, but mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 4, but Metal Gear Solid 3. That is my vote. Is Metal Gear Solid 3 number one?
I feel like more people. Well, I don't know. I'm not the authority on Metal Gear Solid games, but being an outsider looking in, I feel like Metal Gear Solid 5 would be placed higher on a lot more people's lists.
That's the newest one.
Well,
right?
that's
Waconia is
a
probably this
mechanic
one.
sense, and as an obsessive, as someone who literally has a Metal Gear Solid tattoo, Metal Gear Solid 5 is unfinished. Konami cut Kojima at the last 80% of the game, and there's 20% where they literally released the game, and if you buy the special version of the game, you can watch the last 20% as a movie, which is just drawn anime, but it's not even good. But the story itself is revealed. If that was actually made a game, it'd be number one hands down. Metal Gear Solid 5 would be number one hands down. But because of the fact that it wasn't even finished, it unfortunately goes to third or fourth place.
Raconius, I'm just waiting for me to break a leg or something disastrous to happen, and I will play the game that you bought me. He bought me Metal Gear Solid 5. I haven't touched it.
It's a great game mechanically. It's a great game as far as if you play as the masses. It's a shoosty third person. It's a great game, but there's a lot of things where you're like, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you're like, oh, that's happening, or oh, that's that person. That's where you really have the ties. But Metal Gear Solid 5, what you got gifted is not amazing unless you really have that situation.
Nick, are we still getting Binding of Isaac in a couple days?
They said the 30th of December is the release day.
Sick. I hope it's not early access.
And with that, we have second player plays as an actual baby. You don't share a health pool anymore. However, if one of the players die, you both die. There's a lot of new things, a lot of new mobs, a lot of new items. I believe it's over 100 new items and passive items.
Can't wait. Where we at? Hollow Point?
Warconius has a second part to his question here.
In 2021 predictions, will gaming conventions come back? Man, that's a loaded question. What do you think about, will there be a trend in PC gaming? For example, roguelite going out of style, MMOs making a comeback, etc.
Well, there's one gaming convention that said we're coming back 2021 no matter what. I think it was Gamescom. I don't know. One
Germany?
of them, yeah, the one in Germany. I think it was that one.
They had one of the best responses, period. So to COVID. So I could see them pulling that off.
Mm-hmm.
Although I saw that their boss, whoever's in charge over there, Merkel, is that right?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, she said our response.
Are you talking about the German prime minister?
Yeah, Merkel, right?
Yeah, Angela Merkel. Yeah, correct.
She said that our response was so good that people were doubting that it was real, and nobody took precautions anymore, and then everybody got sick, or they had a influx. Anyway, they can't say that. It's. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that it doesn't matter what suggestions are put out there. People are gonna hit a breaking point. Some people already hit that breaking point, and at a certain point, you're just gonna have to let people do whatever they want once they see what I don't know. They weigh the pros and the cons, and they're like, I'm just gonna live my life. I think that date, there's not gonna be a date, but between here and there, a lot more people will hit the I don't give a fuck anymore.
So as someone who has definitely paid very much attention to the 2019, 2018 patterns of shows and everything, I do not think that we're going to see the quote unquote most anticipated game show anymore, which is E3. I think that's out of the window anymore. We're not going to see that anymore
At all?
because
Ever again?
I don't think so, honestly. Like, and the reason why I say this is that we had such a good show between Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation, where they put on their own shows, and instead of saying, "Oh, we're going to share Monday, we're going to share Tuesday, and we're going to share Wednesday," Nintendo had Monday, Microsoft had Tuesday, PlayStation had Wednesday, and they had orchestras. They had full shows just for the things that they were showing, the games they were showing, the consoles they were showing, everything that they were showing. That we will no longer see a conglomerate E3 anymore. Everybody has their own thing that they want to show, and that is what we're going to see as the standard.
Well, everybody's working on their own timelines too, so it's kind of a hassle to have something ready to go for E3. And I feel like now that everybody, we've been doing this COVID thing for almost a year now, so people are kind of used to just tuning in online or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be able to get away with that a lot more, just doing their own announcements online.
And here's some
Exactly.
hopeful thinking. I do think there's going to be a trend in 2021, and I think it's going to be something coming out of nowhere, man. I feel like a lot of people have had a lot of time to sit at home and think and just fucking come up with shit. And 99% of it's going to be bullshit, but there's going to be a battlegrounds. There's going to be a battle royale or something. Somebody's going to make a battle royale, and it's going to hit like that, and it's just going to blow up a whole new genre. And then everybody's going to mix all the old genres with the new genre. And just like battle royale happened a couple of years ago. Same thing.
PUBG,
I feel like there's going to be
But
there's a big brightening. There was one really cool idea that's going to come out.
I don't know.
do
Here's
you
my
think
theory.
that's going to cause everybody to make actual game shows and not game shows, but actual presentations where they all come together on E3 in San Diego or LA, and they
we're
sell
talking about
tickets
the
for
other part of the
$380.
Yeah, there's another side of the question.
Yeah, the other part of the question is, what do you think will be the next trend in PC gaming?
I think it's going to be something new.
I don't know.
Novel.
PC gaming specifically, I'm not sure. But here's kind of like my theory in general. We're kind of used to these big sweeping movements like Battle Royale or PUBG or these games that just eclipse all the other
Roguelikes.
ones.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we're going to work our way towards more of a niche where there isn't just one huge game that takes the world by storm, and everybody just kind of breaks up and does whatever they want. In a way, I feel like that's kind of happened a little bit. Maybe this is just my perception of it, but we had like PUBG, that was huge. We had Fortnite, that was even bigger. But ever since then, I mean, what have we really had? We had like Among Us, that got really big, but that was like a small
Fall
bump.
Guys.
Fall Guys had their time. Apex Legends, we've had like little bumps here and there, but I don't know, man. Like,
No more super mega games. No more World of Warcrafts ever again.
yeah, like I don't think we're going to see like 12 million concurrent players or anything like that again. Like and that's kind of how media has become too. Like everybody can get whatever they're into whenever they want.
Yeah.
It's not like we have 3 television channels that we all got to tune into and watch Johnny Carson, and that's the talking point at work the next day. It's just been broken up so much.
Which makes a game or a podcast like ours even harder, dude. Because, what are the chances that the 8 things we talk about are going to be one of the 700 things that came out that month?
I don't know. I don't know if
But-
people are
but then
tuning
it-
in for our coverage.
They're obviously coming in for the fucking popcorn, dude.
But then again, do you guys think that the people that are watching your show with that sift of viewership in mind, do you think that the people that are watching your show are going to be more devoted, more interested in what you guys talk about compared to like the Joe Schmo that's like, "Ooh, I really like Raft, so I'm going to watch the podcast."
Well, I don't know. I think the big reason why I started listening to PC gaming podcasts, and I think a big reason why a lot of people listen to us, is they just find out about more games. You hear about games, you hear people talk about it, you think, oh, that sounds cool, you check it out for yourself.
Which is why On the Radar has to go back.
Yeah, we should probably
Really
bring that
does.
back.
Yeah.
So one thing, don't take this as gospel, but I think the thing that makes your guys' podcast so popular is not Bobby, Emilio,
Oh,
Chi,
it's definitely me, dude.
Ray. It honestly is the community, because I joined the Discord and I get a private message from Diddy going, "Hey, how was your Christmas?" Or I get messages from Burn going, "Hey man, how's it going? How do you like this game?" I really think it's the community that you guys build together as a podcast that really brings the viewership and brings long time viewership.
I said a long time ago, because we've had our bumps with the Discord and our community, but I said a long time ago, there was a certain point where I was like, dude, our Discord's better than the podcast. Like our byproduct has become better than what we originally set out to do. And that's definitely something to be proud of, and it's definitely not just us that did it. Mostly it's our mods. If you're listening right now and you're not on our Discord, you're fucking up. That's all there is to it. You're fucking up. Go to
Yeah,
dlgaming.net and just click on the Discord link.
there are so many welcoming, loving people that are on your guys' Discord that I honestly have never held a full conversation to, but when they message me, I feel like that it's an old friend messaging me. And it is so nice to feel sometimes nowadays, especially during Rona.
My mom's
Yep.
calling. You guys want to hear?
Yeah, let me see. Let me hear Amparo.
No, we're almost wrapping up. It's a late show, right?
Yeah.
We're going long.
Yeah. All right. Next question from Hollow Point. It's a long one. Have you tried Solasta Crown of the Magister? It's Baldur's Gate 3. Didn't feel enough like If Baldur's Gate 3 didn't feel enough like D&D, it fills that void. All actions have visible dice rolls that are based off of the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It's still in early access, but I've only run into a few minor problems, and it hasn't really taken away from the experience.
Dude, good looking out, man. That sounds fucking promising. If you
Definitely take a look at that.
If you say that, like I'm almost in with. You can throw me poopy ass graphics and I'd be in. Because fucking D&D has no graphics.
Yeah, well, they're in your brain. They're in your mind. It's the theater of the
I
mind.
think
But Baldur's Gate 3, so I mean, the big complaint I heard about that is it's just too short. So I don't know.
Well, it's not sure. I mean, yes. What they released, you only get the first act.
Yeah. You aren't getting very much at this point. Solasta, I guess I'm pronouncing that right. Solasta Crown of the Magister is the game that he's suggesting. Yeah,
Bobby,
worth
did you
looking
look
into.
at that link that I sent you like 4 days ago?
What was it?
So Wizards of the Coast made a D&D Star Wars.
Did you?
Yeah.
yeah,
don't know
they're
if
trying to claim almost everything
Yeah.
now as a D&D rule set.
It's called Star Wars Saga. It's based on 3rd edition, which I haven't played, but apparently if you understand 5th edition, 3rd edition's easy. And anyway,
Okay. Oh, yeah, dude, we should play that.
but dude, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like D&D, dude. It's like watch the video that I sent you. It's
Okay.
It's really exciting.
What's it called?
Star Wars Saga.
Star Wars Saga. Okay.
Yeah. And basically like the amount of customability is like 50 times what it is in D&D. It just you can do whatever you want. The only downside, the guy that I listened to, the video that I sent you, the only downside is I guess Jedi are overpowered, but
Aren't they always?
yeah, aren't they always?
All right. I think that's our last question here.
Wait till you watch the last episode of The Mandalorian, and you'll see how overpowered fucking Jedi are.
What's everyone playing next week? I am going to be playing Death Stranding, GTFO, and probably some Deep Rock Galactic. We've been hitting that pretty hard lately. Some people on the Discord. So I got one more week off. I feel like everybody should use the LFG channel a little bit more in Discord, including me. Just if you're looking for people to play with. What about you guys?
Nick?
I am primarily I'm going to be playing Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov. They just did a wipe. They just introduced a new expansion as far as weapons and everything. I'll be playing that primarily. Secondary, I'll be playing World of Warcraft as much as I can. But however, once Bobby or Emilio summons me in the LFG channel to play GTFO, I will wipe everything in my schedule, including watching the baby, just to play with the guys.
Hey, Nick. So when there's a wipe, that means you lose all your gear, everything you've worked towards.
So yeah, that is one thing that they are doing in Escape from Tarkov currently before full retail release, where every major patch you lose your levels, you lose your items, you lose all the talents you've earned, you lose everything, and you start back from square one and you start doing the first quest.
In a way, that's kind of exciting, but everybody else is on. It's an equal playing field. You're not going to be going up
Exactly.
against.
So no one wants to play Tarkov when it's like 6 months into the wipe or since there has been a wipe because everybody's running the strongest stuff. Right now, everybody's using the worst guns with the worst armor, and it's a bunch of like essentially inexperienced in geared people fighting against each other, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds like more fun, dude. You know what would be a really cool like when you have a topped out level character, a prestige levels. You know how you hit max and then you try to get prestige. It'd be cool if like the way to get prestige was just do that exactly that. Start from the ground up, work your way all the way to the top, and then you're like a twink, and then your twink actually feeds your main. That'd be a cool.
Exactly.
That'd be cool, right?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what wipe is now. But they have the people that make Escape from Tarkov, Battlestate Games, have announced that once Escape from Tarkov releases full scale retail, they'll never have another wipe again. However, there will be twinks, there will be other things to make your main character more effective and more popular to play.
Now, it's not going to be good for the podcast, but right now, all I'm thinking about is fucking Monster Train and how, like, I just unlocked that new race. I'm like, what the fuck are they all about? What kind of shit? What do they got under their skirt? I don't know, man. I haven't even tried them, so I want to check that out. I want to unlock fucking dude. Anything you do, it seems like you get a little bit every time you play. Like if you use the red team, you get more red cards. If you use the blue team, you get more blue cards. But maybe that's not the best combo. So you try. I didn't even know I was going to beat the game. I felt like I had a shitty deck, and the next thing I know, I won, and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
I think Emilio, the real question for you this week, compared to me and Bobby, is when the fuck are you going to be available?
A lot more, dude. A lot more. So they've pretty much told us there's no more overtime. So, unfortunately, if there is overtime, it's me because I'm the manager. So I've got to stay pretty much. Or, if it's something I can delegate. But anyway, a lot more time. So
right.
I should be getting off at earlier times. I bought a new truck. I got to get a new loan tomorrow. But yeah, going forward, I'll be home at 3 instead of 6, which is a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Now, next week, this is our last episode of the year. Next week, are we going to be doing our Game of the Year episode?
Well, now that's if you give me access to your games, then yeah, I'll just play that instead.
Yeah. Well, we've got, and this is kind of some behind the scenes stuff, so sorry to bring it up now, but we usually try to include the audience as well. So we try to set up something where people can either write in or call in or record a message saying what their favorite game of the year is and why.
Yeah, maybe instead of listener question next week, it could be like 3 sentences on your game of the year, and we'll just read them all.
Well, we'll see if we can get that set up this week. So possibly next week, our Game of the Year episode, starting out the new year, possibly 2 weeks. We'll see.
And the way that I'm seeing it, Bob, is that like Nick, Minnie, Chi, Ray, they all, pop on, give their Game of the Year. But really, the Game of the Year is going to go between me and you flesh out.
I don't know. See, last year, this is... I feel like I brought this up, and I think I bring it up every year. I don't know why we need to have like one game.
Because you have to, Drew. You have to, so that we can say.
But
2 years ago, we gave
feels
Game of the
so
Year.
weird because sometimes our Game of the Year is a game that one of us has not even played.
But we're gonna do that.
Yeah,
I think you have to have one.
Yeah, you have to have one.
There has to be the star at the proverbial Christmas tree of Game of the Year.
All right, so I think we have to
Yeah,
it
we'll
might be
figure it
2
out.
weeks because we have to include Nick because we can't have a tiebreaker. We have to have a tiebreaker.
We have to have 5, right? We have to have an odd.
No, 3 is fine.
All right. Well, let's not figure it out now.
No,
This is
let's
a
do it right now. Let's
discussion.
hash it out. Okay. All right. Speaking for Bobby, Nick, and myself, hashing it out titties, everyone. Hashtag tits. Yeah, I bought another truck. Talk about it next week.
New truck, new phone.
New truck, new phone. God, they're both awesome.